Hi guys, Colleen here. Today I'll be filming my booktubeathon wrap-up video. Yes, I know I'm late, but you know what? Doesn't matter. So the first book that I'll be talking to you about is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And this book is about a boy named Tom Hewitt, and he is the youngest boy in his town, which is called Town. And basically in this book, all the men can hear each other's thoughts, so it's never quiet. You can hear the animals' thoughts and ants and all that stuff. And one day at the swamp, he just felt some quietness, and it's obviously kind of weird for him. And so they found out what the quiet was. Manchi, his dog, kind of spilled it out because he's a dog. For some reason they had to leave town, and then his journey just kind of goes on from then. And that's all I'm really gonna be telling you about this book, because that's all you really need to know. So what I felt about this book. I liked this book, but I didn't like it enough. I'm not even sure if I want to finish the whole trilogy, but the only character that I really cared for was Manchi, and other than that, I kind of didn't really like any of the characters. I enjoyed reading this book though. It's not as fast paced as everyone's really saying it is, and it wasn't really a page turner for me. But other than that, I think I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So yeah, if you like the whole dystopian sci-fi kind of books, then maybe you should try this book out. Next book I'm going to be talking about is Ink Heart by Cornelia Funk, and this is about Maggie and her father, and we are just kind of going through their journey, and they have kind of like gifts, which is when they read books, it kind of comes to life. So it's kind of like a story within a story, so that's kind of interesting. I really enjoyed this book, but at the same time, like, it was fairly thick for what it was. I feel like the author could have kind of shortened it, and also I didn't really think it deserved to be a trilogy, my opinion. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I liked the movie too. And this was for the book to movie adaptation. Like I said, I liked the movie, but I kind of liked some of the scenes in the book better. Like, I know they can't have everything from the book to the movie, but the way it was executed in the book was slightly better than the movie. So I think I gave this a 3 or 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and yeah, it's a children's book, and I think I will be reading the second and third book for this, because I did enjoy it and I want to know how it ends. The next book I'm going to be talking about is no other than The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Everyone kind of knows about this, so do I really have to tell you about the plot? Do I? All you need to know is that it's a fairly sad book. And yes, I did cry, and I didn't really like the book as much as everyone loves this book. It was an okay book for me. I think I gave this a 3 or 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads too. And I don't know, I just don't think this book and I clicked, or maybe I read it at the wrong time, or I just didn't feel like reading it when I read it. So I might be rereading this when I feel like it, and maybe you'll never know, I might really end up loving this book. The next book is a book that I actually really love. It's because I read this because of the book of Trubaton, and it is Koya-san by Darren Shan. Oh, it's so good, and it's kind of like a horror story, not really, but it's about Koya-san being too scared to cross the bridge, or even play at the graveyard, and but she had to kind of conquer her fear in order to save her sister. And so this is a very short read, which is probably one of the reasons why I loved this book. And it was just Darren Shan. I really like his style of writing. Like, he didn't really need to put like not random stuff, but like he didn't have to put unnecessary stuff, and it's kind of executed really well in this book. So I think I'm gonna be giving this like a 5 out of 5 stars because I loved it. Last book that I read for the booktubeathon is Nancy Drew Without a Trace by Carolyn Keene, and I feel like everyone kind of knows about Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew is just a detective, well, a detective, and this is about her finding out who stole this really expensive egg. And also she figures out who kind of vandalized someone's garden. And I really like this book because I felt engaged with her, and I kind of love mystery books now because of this. And I know this is a children's book, but it kind of made me play detective too. So I felt like I was also a detective and I was helping Nancy. So I think I'm gonna be giving this a 5 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. It was a short read and I felt like I was interacting with the characters. So yeah. Last but not least, I didn't read this for the booktubeathon, but I just felt like including it anyway, and it is The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. And at first I didn't like this book, like it felt very slow, and this book is about a family, and this is kind of revolved around the secret kind of, and just how they dealt with the secret and they had to kind of deal with the consequences. And from reading this book, I thought we were only going to be knowing about one of the families, but it turns out like every next chapter it was a different person, like a different family. And I didn't really like that at first, but after I kept going on, I realized that the story was connected, and then after reading that, I kind of got interested, and oh my god, the very last line kind of gave me goosebumps. But other than that, it was a good read. I wasn't amazed by it at all, but it ended up being fun, and I think this is my first adult book that I've ever read. I think I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads because it was good, but not good enough for me. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video. Comment down below which book you read and which one you really liked. And give me some book recommendation because I need to get me some more books. So, bye!